fresh, fragrant, fabulous, and foam-free. Here at the Floral Design Institute, we chase away the winter blues by doing videos for the Flower School Library. Today, a how-to on this fabulous spring dream design. For a fresh start to the new year, I look to materials that are anything but red. You want that fresh perspective. And I look for fragrance. So I've got paper whites. They're going to be fabulous. Then going to the blue-gray with Dusty Miller, Eryngium, some acacia foliage, and then more flowers in that purpley blue palette. The container, dreaming of spring, a head vase filled with floral netting, water with flower food taped into place. Now to incorporate the paper whites, I remove them from the pot so that I have just the bulb. Doesn't that look like hair? It's going to be perfect to add into the container. To secure it, using wood picks, just anchor that in and repeat that. You want two. Then secure it in place using cold glue, let it dry, and you're ready to design. First step is to place your base materials. This will give you support for your other blooms, maybe the Dusty Miller, letting it come down, helping to hide the tape from the very beginning. I always like to do that first to make sure that I don't forget later. That piece doesn't hide it well, so I kind of reposition until I can get that to start concealing. There could be more foliage later, but just to get it going. Then some of the acacia foliage to give a little more height. Determining where to break it down, stripping the edge, and placing it in through the center, letting it drape, and repeating. A little more Dusty Miller, pulling your eye from front to back. And then the Eryngium to pick up that blue hue, giving it a cut, placing it in, and just adding repeatedly the same materials until it's full and lush. Once you have the nest established that supports everything else, then adding the bulbs. Now I think they sort of look like they could be hair, so tucking it in so it trails down the side a tiny bit, and moving foliage around till you find a way to set it. One on one side, then coming back over on the opposite side, finding a hole, nestling it in, letting it hang over almost like bangs, and then maybe one coming up more towards the center. This one didn't have as many roots showing, so I chose it to just tuck down in through the center. Now, just add your favorite spring blooms, be it iris, letting it be nice and stately, up with the paper whites. I wish you could smell this. It's so fragrant in the studio right now. The paper whites are just grand. Maybe tulips, and tulips continue to grow. So having it be a little bit shorter so that they can grow with the arrangement. And then for even more fragrance, the hyacinth, absolutely fabulous. Giving it a cut, and then tucking it down low. Blending it in with the other blooms. When I design with bulb flowers, I always try to include other things that are longer lasting, because we know bulbs have a short life. They have great fragrance, great beauty, but they just don't hold as well. So enhancing by adding some miniature Phalaenopsis orchids, they're very long lasting. So it will keep the design alive longer. Now granted, the others will fade, but the base materials that we started with and the orchids, they'll continue to be beautiful for quite some time. Then I can also add in some Chorus Magenta. It's in the Limonium family. So it's actually going to dry and be fabulous. But letting that come in, extend outward, and add a bit more brightness to the design. The recipe, the very beginning, in my planning stages, I started with the 3 pots of the paper whites. Then my base, I use Dusty Miller, acacia foliage, eryngium, and the chorus magenta, the limonium. Then the blooms, 3 each, iris, tulips, hyacinths, and the miniature Phalaenopsis orchids. And you can see working in 3s makes it easy to make beautiful. Fresh and fragrant, it's the perfect antidote for the wintertime blues. You'll find more creative inspiration, more antidotes, some flower therapy at our website, flowerschool.com. If you have any questions, you can reach us through there or pick up the telephone and give us a call at 503-223-8089. Now it's your turn. What are you going to create to brighten your winter days? Be sure to take a picture, post it on social media, and hashtag Floral Design Institute. That way we all can see what you do as you do something you love.